Welcome everybody to the 60th edition of the Barriques Coffee, Wine, and Food Show. We definitely called each other again and decided to wear the same clothes.
I think it's inevitable.
Well, we only have like 3 shirts. We need to work on that. We're going to start off things today with a little coffee. The Colombia Cordillera Central is a coffee that you will recognize. It's one of the mainstay coffees in our lineup. We have a special version of it right now, because coffee's a crop. It changes throughout the course of the season. Colombia is one of those places where we get a couple harvests every year, and we have their Medellin Supremo right now, which is kind of the highest grade bean out of this particular area.
Yeah, it's their largest.
The largest.
Yeah, the Supremo.
Yeah. Big beans. So this just came into the roastery.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we just started roasting it this past week to, first test it out, see how it ran through the roaster, and then this week we will be rolling it out into the stores, and it's it shows a little bit more fruit, more breadth on the palate. It's a richer style of cup. It really is a really nice Colombian, and it's fresh crop. So it's definitely a much denser bean, so it takes a little bit more energy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you can find the Colombia in the stores all the time. The stuff that's going to be showing up and the things that would be available if you place your order today through barriquesmarket.com. Up in that event section, CWT, and the May 26th show section, we'll have this coffee listed. We're going to do a 3-for-2 deal on this. It's 27-ish bucks and change. It saves you $13 or so. It's a pretty great deal. But that coffee that you will get will be the Medellin Supremo, even though it'll still fall under our Colombia Cordillera moniker. But it's pretty great, and it is. David was showing me like bean size and things like that. It's a huge honkin' coffee bean.
Yeah, when you're visually looking at beans, when I first started working in the roastery and stuff, all beans look the same.
Yeah.
Now I can see the difference, whenever I'm blending or doing whatever, and those definitely
stand out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So that's Colombia. We figured we'd talk coffee because we are here again early in the morning, drinking coffee, which hopefully isn't going to torch our palate for the next thing we're going to talk about, which is our wine of the week. It's a Dolcetto d'Alba from Italy, the Cascina Bongiovanni. Yep. I didn't murder that. That's pretty good. Finn, we've had reasonable success with Dolcetto d'Albas. They are wines that I often think of like when I'm for food pairing primarily, but they're also sort of a lighter style, and I don't know, that my perception is that it's something really dark, deep, and heavy. It isn't necessarily that. No,
the Dolcettos and Barberas are kind of the daily wines of the Piedmont region, and it was more recent, I would say within the past 20 years, where they've really put a lot of attention into turning it, still it's that approachable daily wine, but showing it like how much structure and style these particular wines could create. And it's just like the way I had written it up and talked about it. I mean, it's that wine that it tastes like wine. It's like, I really feel like a glass of red wine, it tastes like red wine. It just really grabs the palate really well. The founder, who was Giovanni Bongiovanni.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it. First founded it on like basically a hillside full of trees and said, this is really amazing soil, it would be great for planting vines. So he cleared it to plant originally Nebbiolo vines, and he was a grower. He wasn't a wine producer. It was until the next generation where his daughter actually took over, And she's like, I want our name on the label, an homage to my dad, things like that. And so she created the winery, and then she brought in her nephew, and David has taken it to the next level, where it's he and his wife really have put the science in the cellar, let nature do what it needs to out in the vineyard, and small estate. I mean, it's only it's 17 acres.
Yeah, tiny.
So pretty small, hand harvested type fruit. And this one does not see any wood.
Yeah.
This is all about the quality of the fruit that's in, that they're picking.
It smells pretty good for 8:30 in the morning.
But it's fresh, good acidity. You get that kind of nice berry, curranty kind of bite in the back.
And tastes like red wine.
And it tastes like red wine.
I don't know. It's sort of a low bar.
Well, I mean, so many times you taste wine and it's like it's fruit juice, and then it's wine.
Yeah.
But this is like
this. I understand. I would hope it. So this typically retails for
$19.99.
Yeah, $20. You would certainly hope that it would taste like red wine at
at
$20. Our deal pricing though knocks a huge chunk off that. It's $15.99. This is a great wine for the upcoming weekend. If you're gonna grill out, it's gonna be a little cooler. This is a smoking red. I would actually probably throw a little bit of chill on this bad boy before I would drink it. That's how I would do it.
Just to focus it up a little bit. Yeah, this is just a nice intro price, really, into what they do.
Yeah.
And they do the full fledged. They do Arneas, they do Barolo, they do Barbera.
Out of 17 acres.
Yeah.
So the production on this cannot be big.
No.
Just in the low thousands of cases or hundreds of cases.
Yeah. So they're like I say, they're small producers.
So Bongiovanni Dolcetto d'Alba is out there and available for sale at the BarriquesMarket.com website. It's $19.99 regularly, $15.99 is what the deal pricing is, and get it while it lasts. And I believe just Monroe Street, Unison,
Yep.
So just the big 3 stores. Sorry for that inconvenience. That just is the way things are right now. And speaking of wine, we have a bunch of tastings, 2 events that we have coming up that are, I guess, details TBA. But one next Friday, the Terra de Oro tasting, is locked and loaded and available for sale. The tasting packs are out there. The winemaker Emily Haynes is going to be joining us that Friday night. This is a virtual event, 7 o'clock. We've got 4 different wines. Should be kind of fun. The 2-pack, that is the base tasting pack, is $31.99, and then you can add on the other 2 bottles, a Zinfandel and a Zinfandel port. If you get all 4 of them, it puts you in at around $50 odd dollars. But this should be pretty fun. Obviously we've talked a bunch about the port in particular.
Winemaker's great.
And she's high
super
energy.
Yeah, very energetic and talky.
Talky, good. Talky is good.
Lots of talky.
We have to come up with some way to. I feel like the group is. We gotta maybe we should prompt her to ask them questions directly by name. I had to I was pulling teeth last time to come on, man, this is a great opportunity. You get to talk to the winemaker.
Either that or you travel to the winery and talk to the winemaker.
This is the cheapest wine travel you'll ever do.
Yeah.
Another brand that Finn had just tasted through. I actually didn't get I didn't get to do this. Where did you do this? Was it at the roastery?
No, it was here.
Yeah. Okay.
About a week ago or so.
Okay. Proof and Wood whiskey. It's out of Connecticut of all places.
Yeah. Which
is probably more of a corporate headquarters thing, because David Schmier, the owner and sort of master blender, he's a blender. He's not somebody who does the actual production. He picks and chooses. You see a lot of spirits. What was it about this particular one that said, gosh, this is interesting, and oh, by the way, let's do an event with these guys, which, by the way, is going to happen on June 11th.
Yeah. I had known of him before because he was the man behind Temptation Rye and a bunch of other famous brands that are now out there, and he had sold off. And this is his new iteration. I think he got mothballed for a while.
Oh, yeah. A little non-compete for a bit.
Yeah, a little non-compete. But he was back in full force with his new project, Proof and Wood, and he's got different layers. He's sourcing from Indiana and Kentucky, and he's, like I say, he's a master blender, and really, he what do you say? Exceeds for the dollar. The value. He's a value added type producer where the whiskeys are worth way more than what you pay for them.
Gotcha.
He's a really solid producer, and they're, for the most part, the majority of them are very affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it did, though, when I was looking, I didn't know his backstory, but that explains why they have one called the Vertigo, I think, that's expensive, $150, $160, something like that. So his name is clearly going to have a lot of weight with people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And we're going to try something new with that, where you're going to be able to get
cocktail to go size containers.
Yeah, cocktail to go size containers of whiskey to take home and share with a friend.
Yeah, so we did a number of whiskey tastings or spirits tastings over the course of the pandemic. The limiting factor on these things has always been, like, do you have smaller bottlings? Because it's hard to do really a sort of comprehensive spirits tasting when you have to buy $3, $50, or $60 bottles of spirits. So the change in the Wisconsin law recently that allows us to do cocktails to go will allow us to decant these things, and we'll get a number of representations of the Proof and Wood whiskeys. So that should be fun. That is on the 11th. We'll get, my guess is by probably Friday, maybe the weekend, we'll have enough of the details. We'll be able to post that, and that should be available for sale. But right now it's TBA. And then July 2nd, so the next tasting that we'll do, I believe, will be the Margarita Madness tasting.
Yeah. The annual splash.
The annual splash. So last year we did it virtually. It was a lot of fun. We're gonna have to really decide how we're gonna, what exactly we're gonna do now that things are sort of officially opening up in a week here. But that's gonna be July 2nd. So mark your calendar. That's gonna be a Friday night. We'll either do it virtually or we'll do it at Monroe Street, one or the other.
Yeah. And we might, we got to figure out, a live tasting.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like,
yes,
a live
in
wine.
person.
I know,
yes,
but I'm talking about like a live wine tasting sometime in June.
Oh, another one. Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, yes. It's actually becoming reality.
Yeah. You get to see my smiling face instead of through a camera.
I know. Wow. Interesting. We're not going to dress alike for that one, I can promise you that.
No.
So that's the run of tastings. Terra de Oro, a week from Friday, is out there and available for sale. The Proof and Wood and the Margarita Madness are TBA, as are some of the rest of the tasting calendars. We're just trying to figure out, obviously, what's going to happen and what we're going to be allowed to do and all that kind of good stuff. So that is the run of tastings. And speaking of, we talked about whiskey and we talked about margaritas. Mm-hmm. We've got two other spirits deals for you for the weekend, holiday weekend coming up. And we would be remiss if we did not bring up our pandemic favorite, On the Rocks cocktails, which Haley, my wife,
it was a year ago.
It was a year ago. I know, which is crazy. These were a great discovery.
Yep.
They are, the quality is just, it's great for what they are, and they are deceivingly strong.
Yeah, especially the old-fashioned.
Well, yeah, I think they all are. The margarita is the same way because it goes down so incredibly smoothly. But we have two different sizes of these guys. The 375 and the 250 mil, right? 250? 200 mil.
200 mLs.
200 mLs. You can partake in these actually in the store if you would like. Many of them are available at most of the locations. The large bottles are actually the way to go. And we're going to do... Which one of these is your favorite of the bunch, by the way?
Whew. I'm partial between the Aviation and the Margarita.
Interesting. I'm kind of a Margarita straight up margarita fan. They're just like, and I do not feel guilty when I don't make my own margarita anymore. They're typically on the shelf for $11.49, but we're going to do them as 2-packs for $20. So if you mix or match, if you buy 2 of them, you'll get basically $1.50 off a bottle. And just be careful. These may not look huge, but you drink one of these by yourself, and I eat Chihuahua.
Yeah,
that's definitely.
I mean, this is
two or three margaritas worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like ordering a cocktail in a restaurant. How much is actually in the glass with the ice and everything else?
Yeah, not much.
You drink all this, you're going to be down and out. So.
Yeah. I mean, it is effectively a half bottle of wine, obviously, in quantity. So it's a lot of cocktail there. So that's two packs for $20. So that's a pretty great deal.
So you can choose flavors.
Mix and match. The pineapple margarita is oops, this is not pineapple. That's Mai Tai.
The jalapeno.
Jalapeno pineapple is pretty awesome.
Yep.
I don't know. They're great. They're definitely worth it. And then we're going to move back a little bit closer to Wisconsin and talk about Wollersheim, which we've thoroughly botched this one through no.
Sorry, Tom.
Sorry, Tom. We had a great interview with Tom a day ago that we just didn't record.
Yeah.
It didn't record.
It didn't record.
It was user error. Let's just face it. And then we got here this morning and realized that so Wollersheim. Let's maybe just step back for a quick second. I'm sure know of Wollersheim as a wine producer and probably Wisconsin's best known wine producer. They have in the last really the last 10 years started distilling. In the last 5 years have built out a really beautiful facility.
Yeah, it's very cool. I recommend the drive to go see it.
For sure. And they have a new reason to go out there as well. There's a restaurant that was opened up by it's the brother of Tom's wife.
Right.
Right? And that, unfortunately, it just opened literally right before the pandemic hit, like a month or two before, I want to say. So you have 3 great reasons to go out there. It's a beautiful property. The wine is interesting. The distillery operation is really cool, and you've got this new restaurant. So
and they have an enormous amount of outdoor space and patio, and
for sure.
And so you have the ability to taste spirits if you want, taste wines if you want.
Yep.
And great food.
Yeah. So the brandy that we've got here was the first product, right? This was the first product that they produced. Was it
the Cocard brandy?
The Cocard brandy.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, it wasn't the apple brandy.
Yeah. So it was using their own fruit.
Yep.
Initially, and they were selling out so quickly. Like when I first was trying to get it in, we would get a box or 2, and everybody was out in within 5 hours. Mm-hmm. It sold out overnight, and so they helped develop it a little bit more, and so they started sourcing fruit around Wisconsin to produce what is now their press house brandy, which is the backbone to their the old fashioned.
Yes, which was what we talked to Tom about. In addition to their old fashioned cocktail syrup, we got here this morning and realized that for some reason we didn't have the press house brandy. We didn't have the interview, so it's real sorry, Wollersheim. Our forgiveness. We're still going to plug though the press house and the cocktail syrup.
We have more coming in. It was just our inventory was off.
Anyway,
yeah.
The cocktail syrup was a kind of a neat story. They were producing premium brandy and they wanted a premium mix to go in to make the old fashioned. So they partnered up with Bitter Cube. Now they've got. It in much larger production. It had been something that was just being done for use at the winery, but you can get these little bottles of the syrup, and they're great. They make making an old fashioned super easy.
Well, and they were, the way Tom explained it, it was that, there's an old fashioned, and they wanted to make the old fashioned even better.
Yeah.
And so they really worked hard on what their blend was going to be for the particular bitters to go along with their brandy.
Yeah.
To really pull it out.
Yep.
So.
And if I didn't say,
exceptional.
Working with Bitter Cube over in Milwaukee, so another local another local product. Their distillery uses all local Wisconsin products, and in fact, I think many that are within like a very narrow radius of the distillery itself. So it's a great operation. We're going to bundle the press house. Ignore the apple brandy for a quick second, and the syrup. Typically, it's not inexpensive. It'd be right around $50, but we're going to knock that price down to $42.99, so about 15% off for the pairing. I would definitely recommend it again if you want to go, on the rocks cocktails on Friday and old fashions on Saturday or something like that.
I mean, it's a Wisconsin tradition.
I know they're great, and it sure beats Corbel and whatever it is you've got on your bar. I don't know. Okay, that's kind of the run. Did I forget anything? I don't think I forgot anything. No.
I think we covered it.
I covered it. So that was episode 60. Thanks very much for joining us. At some point, we're going to have to get a live version scheduled. We're going to have to do another live one at some point along the way.
Enjoy your holiday weekend.
Yep. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. We are open at Barriques on Memorial Day. We open at our regular time, and then all the locations are going to be closing at 2. So hopefully maybe we'll get a chance to see you on that Monday. Enjoy your time with family and friends, and we will see you here next Wednesday.
Be safe.
Cheers. Hopefully that recorded.